Does sitting silently with your thoughts feel less like peace and more like being, well, trapped in your own mind? If that sounds familiar, you are absolutely not alone. For a lot of us, especially when our nervous system is already kind of humming with stress or anxiety, traditional meditation can feel literally like trying to parallel park a speeding car. It's incredibly frustrating. Being told to just sit quietly can actually feel super intrusive. And instead of calming down, your brain just spins 10 times faster. So today, we're going to figure out exactly why that happens, and much more importantly, how we can actually fix it. So, welcome to today's Explainer. We are breaking down a highly practical, research backed protocol that brings together ASMR and meditation to help you hit a much, much deeper state of relaxation. We're going to look at how to use these two amazing tools, not just side by side, but in a very specific sequence. Think of this as your ultimate guide to maximum calm. Here is our game plan for today. First, ASMR versus meditation. Second, the science of calm. Third, the combined protocol. And finally, customizing your practice. All right, part one, ASMR versus meditation, the crucial difference. Okay, let's untangle these two for a second. You see them lumped together in wellness spaces all the time, right? But biologically speaking, they are completely distinct beasts. ASMR basically asks you to just receive. It gives you this soft, highly predictable cue, maybe a calming voice, a specific rhythm, or just that feeling of safe, careful attention. It is entirely passive. Meditation, on the other hand, asks you to notice. It gives your active mind an actual job to do. Return to the breath, scan the body, watch your thoughts pass by, and start over. So, ASMR is all about sensory predictability, while meditation is active attention training. And honestly, this is exactly why randomly throwing them together can totally backfire. When they're combined poorly, they just compete for your brain's bandwidth. You might have someone trying to chase those ASMR tingles while simultaneously trying to detach and observe their thoughts. Or maybe they're using this wild, complex ASMR soundscape that just pulls their focus everywhere. The result isn't maximum calm, it's just exhausting confusion. But when you sequence them properly, ASMR becomes this gentle sensory doorway, which then allows meditation to become the actual focused practice. Which brings us to part two, the science of calm and why sequence matters. To really get the most out of these tools, we've got to look at what the peer-reviewed science actually says. Back in 2015, a study by Barratt and Davis showed that people were overwhelmingly using ASMR specifically for sleep, relaxation, and mood support. Fast forward a bit, and Poerio's team in 2018 found that people who experience ASMR actually had a physically lower heart rate and better mood during exposure. That is huge. It tells us ASMR is fantastic at downshifting the body away from that high alert state. Meanwhile, mindfulness research, like Pascoe's 2017 study, shows meditation drives massive reductions in stress and rumination. So the science really dictates the sequence here. ASMR is your biological warm-up. It lowers your arousal, drops the pressure to perform, and creates the perfect environment for the mental workout of meditation to actually take root. All right, let's get into it. Part 3. The combined protocol, a step-by-step routine. Now that we know why this combo is such a powerhouse, let's get super practical. We're looking at a 12-minute routine you can pull out whenever your nervous system needs a reset. For minute 1, your only job is to choose one soft sound. A calm voice, rain, page turning, low ambience, just pick one and let that be enough. For minutes 2 through 5, you're just going to receive that sound. Notice its texture, the volume, the rhythm. You are not meditating yet, you're just letting your brain recognize a safety cue. Okay, right around minute 5, gently add your breath into the mix. Don't force deep breaths, just notice the inhale and exhale up until minute 8. For minute 8 to 12, shift into a soft body scan. Slowly track your attention from your forehead, down to your jaw, your shoulders, all the way down to your feet. Finally, for that last minute, let go of all the technique. Just let the sound play or turn it off entirely, and just notice if your body feels even a tiny bit softer. Now, if there's one thing you take away from this protocol, let it be this. Please do not search for the perfect trigger. The goal here is absolutely not to force this immediate lightning bolt state of deep calm. The goal is simply creating the conditions where calm actually has a place to land. So if your attention drifts away from your breath and gets caught up in the ASMR sound, that is totally fine. The sound isn't a distraction from your meditation, it's literally the support surface holding you up. Moving into our final section, customizing your practice and mistakes to avoid. Because let's be real, life rarely hands you a perfect 12-minute window, right? The beauty of this routine is how incredibly flexible it is.
If you're using this for sleep or insomnia, definitely do this lying down and cap it at 20 minutes max so you don't accidentally overstimulate your brain. Dealing with daytime stress, right in the middle of a chaotic workday, do it seated and just condense the whole thing to about 10 minutes for a quick reset. And if you are actively navigating anxiety, this is crucial. Stick to highly predictable triggers. Avoid anything visually intense or sounds that might startle you because you want to make sure your nervous system never ever feels the need to brace itself.
There are also a couple of quick traps you'll definitely want to avoid here. First, skip the super novel or visually complex videos if your end goal is meditation. They're just going to hijack your active attention. Second, try to drop that performance anxiety. Stop constantly asking yourself, wait, am I calm yet? Is this working? Just let it happen. Third, zero judgment for wandering thoughts, okay? Just gently pivot back to the sound. And finally, goes without saying, but while this is an amazing wellness tool, it's not a substitute for professional medical care if you're battling severe anxiety or chronic insomnia. The best practice here is gentle, flexible, and short enough that you actually want to repeat it, without any pressure. At the end of the day, ASMR gives you the permission to receive, and meditation gives you the tools to stay present. Put them together, and they unlock a depth of calm that neither could really achieve on its own. But keep this in mind, the deepest calm usually isn't some huge dramatic revelation. Sometimes it's literally just that quiet little moment when your shoulders finally drop an inch, your jaw unclenches, and your mind just stops gripping the day quite so tightly. So thinking about your own brain, your own nervous system, and how you personally process stress, I want to leave you with a question. If you were going to try this protocol right after this, would you rather start your routine by leaning heavily into the ASMR, focusing purely on your breathing, or getting grounded with a body scan? Figure out what feels the safest and most natural for you, and start exactly there. Thanks so much for exploring this explainer with me today, and hey, here's to finding your maximum calm.